Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and welcome to my weekly Plan With Me video. All the supplies and products I'm using will be listed in the description box below. I like doing this. It sets my week off right. I get a feel for what I've done, and then the sense of accomplishment sort of motivates, inspires, and empowers me to keep going and keep moving through it. And just to keep on keeping on. Okay, so I'm going to write down first what videos I did. This was a sketchbook tour. And those are always fun. I think next week might be another sketchbook tour. I'm finishing up. This was week 24, so we're doing week 25. My goodness. Next week might be another sketchbook tour video. I have a couple, well, I had one sketchbook I knew for sure that was only half full, and so I was just waiting for inspiration for the other half and sort of a time chunk to finish that in. And then I went through, oh my gosh, okay, just a little story time. I went through every single sketchbook I could find. Every single one, no matter how old, no matter how weird, how wonky. And I found one other sketchbook that was partially filled. So I've ripped those pages out and I'm gonna rebind it and have another mini sketchbook. And I don't know if I'll be able to finish that mini sketchbook in June. What I'm planning on doing is for World Watercolor Month, which is the month of July, I plan on starting that specific challenge the first day of. So all of July is going to be watercolors, and I'm going to bind my own sketchbook using my Strathmore roll of paper, which is the mixed media. It's 100% cotton. I'll link at that in the description box below if you're curious. And I'm going to make my own sketchbook for July. But while I finished my huge sketchbook, my lectern that was an A4, I have like some days left in June. So I'm just kind of mixing and matching and leaning into my moods and just filling stuff as I go. So yesterday I did 7 portraits. I know. And they're not like the ones I did in March. They're not pastel. They're not like super time consuming. This is just a study in shape and form and see what I can show and not show and still have it look like a face. So I'm doing ink. I'm doing a brush pen. This was 6 portraits. They're fairly quick. That's why I'm able to do so many. The day prior I did 4 portraits. I was gathering notes for all my drawing and creating challenges in the months coming up. So I have to have some plan days too. So sometimes when I draw something that isn't so extensive or intensive, it's because I'm doing other art things. I'm doing planning for stuff. And sometimes that's what it looks like. So this day I did an ink. This was an ink tiger. This was the cover of the sketchbook that I just finished. This was peony flowers on the end papers. Again, that was the sketchbook, the lectern one. This was a pastel portrait. And I love portraits. Pastel portrait. And then this one was, what did I do? I did a flamingo. So this was a Conte of Paris, which, all right, got those things wrong. Paris. It's like they go opposite directions, right? Okay. And this was a flamingo. And I painted on the pigment. I didn't write it with the pencil. Okay. So it's been a busy week and I'm here for it. This is a planner I made. That playlist is in the description box below if you're curious. This is a gallon leather with a Nolte cover. And we're gonna zoom in a little bit. Let's do that. Okay, I'm figuring out how I draw botanicals, and when I look at the history of me drawing botanicals in years past, it sort of feels like I draw and do botanical drawing challenges about twice a year. So as I keep creating and doing drawing challenges month after month after month, year after year after year, I start to see bigger and bigger patterns. And that's kind of one of the patterns. So I don't really crave drawing plants as much as I do animals and people. And I did 18 portraits. I sure did. Yeah. Those are like a comfort thing. I just love drawing people. People are absolutely stunning. Okay. And then I had, what order do I write these in? Okay. My week 24 video. Yeah, this is my penmanship when I apply myself. I don't have the nicest handwriting in the world. My handwriting isn't all that. And then I did a sketchbook. Tour video. Okay, so busy week, lots of fun. And I thought, okay, so what I've done is I typically do 2 pages a month of, it's like week 1, 2, 3, 4. But what's happened is it's rotated around kind of wonky. And so my June is part of May. And this was my June 1st. So I'm doing a 3rd page. That's the 22nd, and this goes to the 29th. And that'll get me back on track to July, because there's 52 weeks in a year. So there's going to be kind of, I can't really do 4 weeks for every single month. The math doesn't math. So this one's going to have 3 pages, and then we get on to my July notes, and then this will be the start of the July weeks. So the first half of the year I have done portraits. Just people chilling, having fun. And I thought for the second half of the year, I would do animals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this as transition weeks, where I transition from portraits to animals. So what I'm going to draw is a person with a kind of animal, if I can get away with it. And I'm going to use some Tombos. This is 156. They are dying. I own about 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 Tombos left. And they're dying a slow death. I think there's 2 different wells. So like this one's really bad, but this one still has ink. So I'm going to draw with the tiny one. And we're just using up product and doing the thing we can do here. And this is a really pretty green. I don't know the name. I'll throw the name up. And we can kind of, I'm going to go smaller with this face so we can include some animals or something. If I can. We're going to see if I can do this. I don't know. I had an idea. And I don't... Like my brain, it's trying to figure out the shape and the form. And I don't know if I can execute this with a modicum of success. So we're going to try it. You can see there's plenty of ink in this tiny side. So this is how I'm going to use my Tombos up. And I'm also craving like metallics and sparkle. So we're going to add a layer of sparkle because Tombos are water soluble pens. Tomoe River is paper that's double coated and can handle it. Boy, I don't know if this is going to work. Unless I faux the top of the head this way. Okay. And we need some eye here. Eyebrow. Okay. And we'll do eyes closed. Like somebody's having a moment. They're having a moment and we are here for it. There's the eyelash. There's the hair in the face. I like hair in the face. I like asymmetrical. I don't know what it is. Like I don't feel the need to draw. I just don't feel the need to draw both matching eyes. I don't feel the need to do some of those things sometimes. It's kind of like what I can get away with. Like, can I get away with showing that this is a face and hinting at things without actually having to draw things? And does it still work? Does it fall apart? Does it make it a more unique, creative illustration? Let's do a mouth. How am I going to do this? Okay. And I never do teeth, so let's... We're going for all the challenges today on Monday. Okay, I'm going to... put that to sort of the, everything's proportion, so relation and proportion to everything else. And we will, okay, that's going to be my faux teeth here, and then we need a bottom lip, but we don't have to draw it. We don't have to draw a bottom lip. We can do the shadow that hints at the bottom lip. I'm going to go right off the page. And when I do that, I don't want to draw on another page. So I have this guy. He catches whatever's going off the page. Okay. Straight hair, don't care. I don't have straight hair. I have, wavy hair? My hair definitely has body to it. It definitely does what it wants, whenever it wants to. So that's kind of a fun challenge. Fun life challenge. All right. And maybe it kicks up. Okay. So this is going to be hair. And then we're going to get to the animal portion, I swear. I know it feels like I'm scribbling, coloring in real quick. My cats are opening the door. They're always on the wrong side of the door. And I feel like a lot of pets are like that. Like, what are you doing? Why am I not included? And then I include them and they're like, I don't want to be here. Why did you think I needed to be here? This isn't about me. Should be. Why isn't it? Okay. So, yeah. Fun things with hair. Okay. All right, we can. Okay, and then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to. Boy, I hope this works. Can you see shape? And what I'm doing is I'm trying to make butterflies come out of this person's hair. And that's my animal for this week. And then next week we'll have a more distinct animal, and this is my transition from portrait to animal. So it is an insected animal. I mean, I'm calling it one, so let's hope it is. If you're into entomology, if you're into insects. I did a June bug one year where I drew tons of different bugs. That was a lot of fun. Oh, my cats are gonna be loud. Okay, so there's another butterfly. We're just gonna kind of make them come out of the hair. Not like moths, but like butterflies. I believe the difference is antenna, so let's have some antennas. There's my cat. Hi. How are you? Nice and loud. Good job. Okay, so we have, I don't know, butterflies coming out the hair. And maybe they're going to the hair too. There's so many fun ways to draw wings. And then I don't do things symmetrical because, you know, why? Where's the fun in that? Okay, so hold on, let me close my door again. It's getting kind of loud. Okay, sorry about that. My husband's currently cooking and I hear things and I can smell things and it's just distracting me because now I want to eat things. Okay. This is my person. And what I'm going to do is, for bleeding and ghosting, I'm going to stick a pencil board in here. And then I have my little paint. Now this would work. Here's my Schminke silver watercolor. I could just wet this, activate this, and do a layer over this. I am out of the gold watercolor, so I have Brilliant Gold by Holbein, and they're gouache, and I just squeezed it into a pan till it pretty much hardened, and then I wet it and activate it, and then I'm going to do a light gold gouache over this so it sparkles. I want my butterflies to sparkle. So I'm just adding some water to soften this up. And a pipette would be quicker, but I didn't grab one of those, so. My brush is a Winsor Newton Cotman. I have a bunch of Winsor Newton Cotmans. They're a synthetic brush. They're budget. They come in a bunch of different sizes. This is a 3 round. We're gonna see if I can do this whole thing in a 3-round. If not, I have a double zero that's smaller. And this will help with softening up some of the ink brush strokes. Oh, my dog says hi. There's just a lot going on this morning with all the animals. And this will have a really pretty sheen to it in the light when it dries. So we can appreciate that next week when we look at the sheen and how slapdash I am with a paintbrush. So, but yeah, sometimes I'm just in a metallic mood and there's something about, I'm sorry, that's the cat. Lucifer. Okay, Lucifer, stop it. There's something about butterflies that I really want to make sparkle. Okay. It just, you lose a little bit of detail when you go back through and activate your water-soluble pens. So if you want to use a tinier brush to ensure you don't lose so much detail, that's probably smarter, but I'm just stubborn. So here is my finished product. And it's gonna have to dry. There's a little bit of a puddle situation here. Not mad at it, but it's gonna take a while. So, and I would turn on a hairdryer, except it would blow the pigment around, and I want it to naturally dry and be wonky. We're gonna embrace its natural state. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.